Going to our first topic is going to be more DC realm based. We're going to talk about DC kind of now that everyone has had the opportunity to log in to HBO Max, or it's been out long enough. I feel that we can have a conversation about Batman without really putting any potential spoilers out there for everybody. Overall, the movie did pretty well across the board. But it's also a Batman movie, right? So that doesn't leave too far from the imagination. And with that said, the Batman as a whole had brought some unique dynamics, because we kind of saw the attempt of them bringing the detective aspect of Batman to the screen. Checking down the Riddler, and getting to that point in the fandom where it's not just brute force saving the day. They did put a decent push in there for brute force. There were a couple of scenes that stick out in my head constantly, but it was a little bit of a psychological thriller, so I do appreciate it for that. The IMDb rating is about 8 out of 10, so most people seem to enjoy it. So that's super great. Overall, they are saying that it's visually appealing, and I definitely concur with that. Trying not to go too heavy. I also enjoyed what they did with the persona of Catwoman in this theory. I feel that she brought a lot to the character we haven't seen before, where you felt that real tension between Batman and Selina Kyle, something you haven't seen in previous iterations. Michelle Pfeiffer comes close. I really feel that way. And when we're working through the steps, then that's kind of my opinion as a whole. They did push a little bit on the burglar aspect, but they didn't go anywhere with it. I feel that they could have done a little broader stroke when it came to that. We could have dug a little more. We had a lot of for the runtime. We had a lot of downtrod, in my opinion, for a Batman movie. We got a really great opening sequence. They didn't dig in hard to the parents, so I appreciated that. Not until later in the movie. And the Riddler was put in there, but they made him out to be kind of like this broad, almost genius, right? And at the end they kind of took all that away, and they just turned him into a psychopath, which I thought was a unique opportunity, something we could have missed out on, or could have done a little better on, in my opinion. So overall, I really feel that that's kind of what we're gonna take from the Batman movie and kind of bring it full circle. Overall, it was a solid film. Overall, I feel that in the long succession line of Batman movies, and I am not a huge Batman fan, right? I enjoy the Keaton era. Most of us fell off, right around the Clooney, or Val Kilmer. And, they kind of got us back with The Dark Knight, right? And that's the staple. So I feel like in the late 80s, we had a good one. And then in the, I would say mid 2000 range, we got another good Batman movie. But there were a lot of misses in there, right? So that's my opinion for that particular aspect. So when you're pushing all that against it, that's kind of where I'm going with Batman. This was good. And of course they had to incorporate the Joker there, right? Because the Joker, it sells. So they'd had great success with the Joker, obviously. And they're talking about... Can you hear me now? I can't hear. Have I just been yammering away here? Nobody's... upset. All right, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? You're muted, but... Okay. Okay, can you hear me now? I've got you here. I can't. If you go to multi-guest, you click the multi-guest, you should be able to unmute yourself. Try unmuting.
Okay, I got it.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
All
You
right.
hear me
So,
now?
yeah, I hear you just fine now.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I saw your. I was just coming in when you was talking about the Batman. I know you probably. I guess you finally saw it once it came to HBO Max.
Yeah, well, I got to see the last I got to see the newest Harry Potter movie, and it's just so hard for me to get out there, right? So this one came and dropped before I could get to it, and I figured at this point we could have a real open conversation about it without like hurting anyone's feelings, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I had today I had bought my ticket for Multiverse of Madness, and it's for the Thursday showing at 3 o'clock. So.
Okay.
So I was like, hopefully, because like I said, her due date's on the 10th. Hopefully, it could like come like she could go into labor. Like, hopefully, she'll probably go into labor after that. But she said that today that she felt like something was happening, but she said she's not feeling anything. You know, she thought her water broke, but I guess it was like the sweat from walking or whatever, but she said she feel all right now. So
Okay.
she'll let me know what's up. I said if anything happens, if you start to feel anything, just drive to the hospital. I'll find my way there. Cause
Yeah, like definitely.
her bags are already packed. But the one thing I'm worried about is the one I wasn't worried the last time because her kids are pretty up there, you know, in age like 7, 8, 9. They can pretty much like take care of themselves. But my son, he's just 2, and he has like certain needs. He doesn't have like any disabilities or nothing like that. It's just the fact that because the other kids, well, the youngest, the other 3 besides my oldest stepdaughter, she the other 3 they play a little bit too rough
Okay.
sometimes, and yeah, that's why I'll be like worried about. I'm probably gonna have to like entrust her to watch him like a hawk when it comes to him playing with him. But yeah, I'm just here right now by myself. Like she just decided to go to the park with them and whatnot. I just just sat back because I'm I'm almost like I said I'm almost finished with my Smallville retro, so it should be uploaded either tomorrow or Monday, probably sooner. So I split it into 2 parts, but they both still ended up being 25 minutes each. So
Oh, no kidding, huh?
Yeah. So it should be fine. It should be fine. Like I'm in the character analysis now, so it shouldn't take a little too long. And I gotta go back and record some audio for part one because certain pieces of audio got cut out. So I'll have to either go upstairs or go to a quiet place that has no reverb, and it's just like a little small snippet. That's about
Okay.
it. But I just gonna just plug it in there and export it, then upload it. Hopefully, it'll be uploaded no later than Tuesday, or if my wife doesn't go to labor, it'll be uploaded no later than Tuesday. She does. If she
I'm
goes into
excited to
labor,
see it.
yeah, huh? Yeah, I,
As
I'll make sure I'll send you a link. I'll send you a link. But yeah, I was watching the Batman again. I watched it again the other day when it dropped on HBO Max, and I did like it, and it, like I said, it was a true detective story. I remember back in when I was in the Marine Corps. I remember when I got out, I said I wanted to be like a private investigator, but where that dream went, I don't know. But yeah, it was like very original to say the least. Like as far as going back to the detective roots and not dealing with like metahumans and other aliens and all that stuff. But
it really did bring it down to like a street level feel, right? Like
yeah,
everything was, there wasn't any extraordinary madness, and I appreciated that. So like I feel like it was a little overstuffed though. So like I feel like we did a lot with Zoe's character as Selena Kyle, but
hmm
we didn't expand upon it. Like we just kind of laid some great our groundwork, which I was okay with, right?
yeah,
And and then we actually had Colin Farrell as the Penguin, and he did an okay job, but I felt like there was like it didn't make any sense to me like why he was there. I mean, I followed the storyline, I understand why he was there, but I feel like that was extra that we just really didn't need. Like I feel like we could have introduced him on the second movie. I mean, it was iconic to have the Penguin in there, but he's not even like the Penguin yet at this point, right? Like he's just kind of coming into his own.
yeah, kind of, yeah. I wonder if the series will be his series will be like after or before the movie, because
Fascinating.
I know the GCPD show that got canceled or got repurposed for the Arkham show that they're going to have now. I know it was going to be set before that. It was set before the main.
Well, and that comes to a trope we're seeing a lot, right? Like we're seeing a lot of that trope that okay, well we can tell the story later because we have a platform now. Like DC has HBO or Discovery HBO, and Marvel has Disney Plus. So it's like, well, if we can't fit that story into a movie, then we'll just do it into a series, which that could generate more revenue. And I feel like that's a vicious cycle, and it's easy to slip into that, right? Like it's good, but I don't want to have to watch three TV shows to be able to bounce back into a movie, right? Like it should relatively pick up from where the movie within a reasonable time frame, right? I mean, am I crazy?
No, no, you're not crazy. You could definitely expand, like a certain, let's say, like a certain scene of them. Let's say, for example, let's say that scene from Age of Ultron where Tony goes in himself to find out, you know, why those nuclear codes are being changed. So Ultron won't get those codes to annihilate the planet. That can be expanded into about 4 episodes. That whole scene alone could expand into 4 episodes, going back into that movie. I guess that's like an example. I couldn't remember what scenes with Penguin that were significant. I mean, it was cool to see the Penguin, Colin Farrell's Penguin, but I don't remember, him being real significant to the story. Like, will his series be like after? Like, will he get out of jail and actually tries to, get that power vacuum after who had went to jail? Was it Falcone? Falcone got killed. Yeah,
Falcone's the one that was basic. So basically, they took what they did in the first Batman Begins, right, and they kept Falcone the same. They kept the dirty cop aspect the same, and they just shook up that piece of it, right? They just added, like, that's what I mean. Like, I feel like they shoved Penguin in there, but he didn't really serve a purpose, right? I mean, that's really how I feel like, and it was, like you said, really cool to see him. They did a great job makeup wise. He looks amazing, but at the end of the day, what purpose did he really serve? He was like a go between, like kind of like helping Batman along the way. I mean, we really didn't get a solid feed on him, and not until the end, right? Like then he kind of started to show some of his true colors.
yeah. I would, yeah. Maybe the series will expand on it. Like, yeah, maybe the series will expand on it once it comes out. Was it like 2023, 2024? Or have they even
20
started? Have they even started shooting it yet, or in production yet?
No, they're in early concept stages right now.
Oh, they trying to find what story to adapt, or pull from source material for the Penguin. But
Yeah.
oh yeah, did you? I don't mean to be bouncing all over. Speaking of VC, did you see the post I made last night? Did you like? There's a slew, maybe okay, not a slew, but like two Arrowverse shows got canceled.
I did. I saw Legends of Tomorrow got canceled. I think I saw that from you directly. Um, and I don't know what the second one is. So what's the second one?
Batwoman, which is no surprise.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
they
I,
mishandled Batwoman so bad. Like, and I was gung ho for Batwoman. Like, I really was, and I just feel that they didn't recover or handle it appropriately when they handed over the cow, right?
yeah, because the CW Ryan Wilder, she was a original character that the CW made up, but she was just Kate Kane 2.0. She pretty much, somebody was calling me.
No, it's all right.
What was I saying? Oh yeah,
All right.
they kept the same aspects. Yeah, they kept the same aspects as for from Kate to Ryan. That she had that strange family. She had a sibling that was the main villain. She was LGBT. Um, she also fell in love with Sophie, if I'm not
Yeah.
reading, and because that was out of nowhere. Because from what I've seen, they hated each other, or was it didn't favor each other at one point. And during the Armageddon crossover, um, on her person. I mean, I don't even say if it was a crossover because she really didn't do much in the crossover.
No, she really
She
didn't.
really didn't do anything. All she did was talk to Iris about her and Sophie having a baby. But I hope that her character gets like. I mean, I know she's not gonna have her show no more, but I hope that she'll still get like she'll still get seen within the Arrowverse somehow, but I highly doubt it because there's only two Arrowverse shows left: Superman and Lois,
Yeah.
and The Flash. And The Flash has been renewed for a ninth season, and they don't know that if this season will be the final season, but they should have announced that when they announced the season. So they
I think
so
they're gonna. I think that right now they didn't want to make any major changes because of the handoff, right? Like they're with this Discovery merger. They don't want to make any commitments because you got to remember, just because a show's been greenlit for a 9th season, they could be 3 hours into filming the first episode, and then the big guys upstairs could make a phone call downstairs and say, "We're canning it. Sorry." So I mean, yep. So I feel like that's the hindrance right now that we're looking at when it comes to the DC. The DCEU is in such fluctuation because not only are they getting attacked on social or by the stars causing problems, right? But we're also seeing a lot of the shows that everyone's come comfortable with are starting to go away. And because of just either disputes or just bad direction, or it's just time for them to, wind down. And I feel that's what we're coming with. And they're hustling to try to do more. Like, I feel as much as I enjoyed Suicide Squad and I watched
Peacemaker?
What was it? Peacemaker, thank you. I watched Peacemaker and I thought it was okay. It was definitely worth a watch, but I wouldn't run back to rewatch it, it had some good stuff. Everything that didn't have to do with Peacemaker, like a lot of his associates, that was a lot of the fun stuff, right? And then I feel like they shoehorned that cameo in there, and I have a little bit of judgment because how are you going to shoe in a cameo and only have half those people in the cameo? And the reason you only can have half those people in the cameo is because you're not sure what you're going to do with those characters. It made no sense to me. I think it was just hey, we can, let's just tie the universe together, even though the universe is falling apart around us. It's fine.
Cause with the Flash on the CW, I felt like that whole time what they was building up to as far as the crisis and whatnot. Like, I thought that was going to be the final season and whatnot, because in the first season, the crisis was supposed to be in 2024, but I don't know what happened to where it's I don't know where it happened to what made the timeline change to where it went from 2024 to 2020 or 2021 or something like that. I don't know. I think it was 2021. Was it 20? No, it was 2020. Because I wasn't living in Stone Mountain, Georgia yet. I wasn't living there yet. So during crisis, that was 2020.
Yeah, because I want to say Crisis, just because I like to try to be factual. It was it started in December of 19.
Okay. And it ended in what, February of 20?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, so that's okay. So it went from 2024 to 20 no, actually 19, basically.
Yeah, it carried us through the year because the part 1 was Supergirl episode 5, Batwoman episode 1, let me do that again. Supergirl season 5 episode 9. Then the week after that, we had Batgirl season 1, episode 9. Then in that same week, we had The Flash season 6, episode 9. And then it carried over to the next week. And it was Arrow season 8, episode 8. And then it closed off because there was a prelude for season 5. So it was basically, and so it dropped. That was the last new episode of Legends before it picked up with the new season. So it picked up right after with the new runs for the new year. So
so that Legends of Tomorrow episode, that was their season premiere episode?
It was the prelude, right? So it ended with so where it picked up directly after the events of Crisis. So the next episode to the new season was straight Crisis. It's nothing had missed a beat. and they're just moving on after the direct events of Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Oh yeah, cause I know I don't want to beat the dead horse here, cause I know
Yeah.
we discussed this before. We discussed this before in our previous live actually about Crisis, and I said that where do they go from here? Like, and everybody thought the Armageddon crossover was supposed to be good, but it it was kind of lackluster when it towards the end, basically. Like the only thing that's keeping the show going is the Reverse Flash, and I feel like Barry is afraid to kill him because it might erase him or something like that. Because once I'm saying like there are ways to figure out of getting rid of Eobard Thawne. Yeah, get rid of him so that way he can still be there. He can still be alive and still be the Flash or whatever. But I'm hearing rumors that Grant Gustin is getting tired of playing the Flash.
Can you blame him though?
Huh?
Can you blame him though?
Not really, no.
I mean, what's the average shelf life of a show? 6 to 8 seasons, right?
Right.
You look at, I always kind of refer to like, the middle ground 7, and like all the really good shows start like they realize that they're collapsing in on themselves around the 6th or 7th season because there's nowhere left to tell the story. There are a few exceptions to that rule. You could say MASH, you could say Supernatural, you could say Cheers. I mean, there've been nuggets throughout the actual growth of TV and the medium that is TV. But I think right now we're seeing that. You're just seeing that exhaustion rate. I know we've said this before, but it's the same thing with Marvel. It's like I was more excited about the new episode of Halo than I was about the new episode of Moon Knight. Now, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed watching Moon Knight, and I think the direction we're taking it is great. But I feel like we're getting a little burned out on like the big names putting out the movies, right? Like we need to break up some of the monotony, which why I'm kind of excited for Avatar, because it will break up some of the monotony that we've had. It's an unexpected show or an unexpected movie that could, we've waited long enough for it, but it could be good.
Yeah, because I missed last week's, or was it last week's or this week's episode of Moon Knight, and I wasn't really like, oh shoot, I missed it like it was for Loki, WandaVision, Falcon, Winter Soldier, and What If. Like it didn't have me like urgently run to the TV and say, oh snap, Moon Knight, and I mean it is good, like it is like it is trying to be original, like how to start it with Iron Man and how's it going with Egyptian gods and whatnot. I think like after the multiverse saga, they're going to go into like more like Egyptian gods and Greek gods and who else? Because I heard that who was supposed to be in Thor: Love and Thunder? I heard Boss, the Panther god, is supposed to be in Love
And
and Thunder.
and we know for a fact Zeus is in it, and Zeus leads us to Hercules, right?
Yeah, should we should get a Hercules movie sometime in the future.
Well, I mean, at this point, we got to start replacing the heavy hitters, right?
Yeah.
We need to start replacing. We still haven't really replaced Tony, but I think everyone's just letting that breathe. We've kind of replaced Captain America. We're kind of good with that, right? And everyone's like happy with the performance. I mean, he's killing it. Hands down, really good. I feel that he's filling the role, and he's doing it from not a superhuman aspect, which I find is very cool too, right? Because in the show, he's not superhuman. So I think that's kind of cool. I don't know if it'll stay that way. We'll see. But we're gearing up to replace Black Widow now with her sister, which is neither here nor there. So we are making inroads.
Yeah. And then there's who was that? like, what was that I was thinking about? Oh yeah, I I don't know if there was these rumors going around on TikTok of what's going on with Multiverse of Madness. I don't know if you read it yet, and I only read one issue, but it's supposed to be Reverse House of M. If you heard of that story, where
Oh,
Wanda just warps reality and says no more mutants, but in Multiverse of Madness, it'll be like it has already happened, and then it's going to reverse it to where is that to bring the mutants into the MCU. But I heard some small things too that the MCU that we know now is fabricated and fake due to like what happened with the mutants within MCU. You know, saying no more mutants and whatnot. And I feel like they're trying to use Wanda or cipher her power or something to bring back the universe of what it was before Wanda did whatever she did. I don't know, but it's gonna. I just hope that if that does happen, that means like there's gonna be like a lot of infinite possibilities of where the MCU can go up until what's it said 2035. That's what they said. Yeah, they said like they planning movies up to 2035.
they're
So
rolling out the next 10 years, man. Like they've already, whatever they're doing now, they've got locked in stone. And that's going to carry them till the end of this run. Basically, they're going to walk out. They're trying to plan the next 3 phases, right? And I
yeah,
support that, but I don't know how much. Let's be honest. How much longevity does that have? I mean, I'm not going to say any of them are going to flop. That's Sony's job. Sony's job is to flop Marvel properties.
yeah,
So, but I feel you're going to see a downward tick because somebody brought up a really good point, and this is where I'm gonna like really support the thought process. You've got you had this major tier level villain who basically wiped out half of the universe. And we've seen this escalation, right? To the
hmm
point now we're tapping into gods and
right,
things that can kill gods. So now you're moving past the normal universe and going into like things that are more powerful than gods.
right,
So you have to either start and do a pivotal shift and bring us back down to the ground level, or you're really going to have to make a really good story. And if they realign this, right, and if they do it right, as they're saying, as you mentioned, then at that point you're re-leveling the playing field and bringing all these epic level mutants in, and then you're just kind of hiding it under the guise that, well, this is how it was already. Then we made it go away because we knew better than you guys, and now because of everything you've done, we have to unravel it, or it's going to destroy all the multiverses. I
right.
mean, I can get behind that because now we could have like a story, right? And that's not that, and that stays because there's a lot like Apocalypse is god level, man. Like he's super over the top powerful, right? And then you make the same argument with Phoenix, and a lot of these backdraws. We still haven't seen a good Mr. Sinister yet. Um,
Yeah,
and it would be nice to get away. And don't get me wrong, I really do feel, and this will be my final point on this. I really feel that Logan was a good way to send it off, right? And now we need to stop worrying so much about Wolverine because really it was the whole franchise was like Wolverine and the X-Men,
uh huh,
right? And I'd like to see X-Men. Like there are so many great like unknown characters that we could build and explore. The people that were in the sewers, and I can't remember their name right now. It's eluding me. But I'd love to see them, and I would love to see us expand on it. So that's kind of where I'm at. I mean, you may have a different take, but that's what I'm gonna lay down for you and tell you if we don't see that shift and we don't do this movie in an appropriate way, because there's going to be unhappy fans either way.
Right.
But if we don't do this right, we're gonna see fans either way.
Right.
But if we don't do this right, we're gonna see the movies start to decline. And that's what I don't want to see, because I've enjoyed the last 10 plus years of movies. I'd hate to see them kind of move into obscurity.
Well, I hope they'll do better with the next Eternals movie. I mean, that's the only thing I could say about that, since we're dealing with God and and if the multiverse is unfold. Cause like, did you see the I think Kevin Feige put something out. No, he did put something out. Did you see it that he said that what movies to watch before you go see Multiverse of Madness? It said like, well, of course you
No.
watch. It said, of course you got to watch Doctor Strange. Then you got to see WandaVision, What If, and then Spider-Man: No Way Home, in order to be filled in for um, Multiverse of Madness next week.
And see, that's where I'm at. Look how many like I'm good with like watching the two movies, but now I've got to watch two franchises too, two separate franchises.
Yeah.
And I understand why they're doing that, because that last clip that dropped, supposedly we saw Peggy Carter
Yeah.
with a jetpack. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's weird, and I'm excited to see that. I want to see how that plays out. Like, even though I know there's going to be stuff that we're not being told, and they're giving us little stuff because they want to keep the hype going, right? And I feel like they shot their big gun off a little soon, right? When they revealed Charles Xavier finally in the chair. I mean, I think the internet broke for like half a day.
Somebody did that. They did that on purpose. Cause like they don't because people don't have cable no more. Like some people don't be checking for TV spots. And
Yep.
the people who have cable at home, of course they're gonna put it out there online or put it on Facebook or whatever. But as far as like people who are actually going to look for, because I wasn't looking for it, it kind of just popped up on my it just popped up on my Facebook page, and then saw Peggy Carter, and then uh, Charles Xavier in his chair. And then what color was his actual the suit that he was wearing? Was it? It looked like green.
It was.
It was like
Yeah,
dark green or something.
and that's very 90s cartoon, spot on.
Yeah. And who else was there? I couldn't like see because it was kind of tall though. It was like, when Dr. Strange being walked in to be seen by the Illuminati, and there was like some person getting ready to sit down in their chair. And I wonder, and like I said, it goes back to that theory of reverse House of M, when Charles was like, we should tell him the truth. But I did not know what that meant until I saw those theories and rumors going around. Like, tell him the truth. Tell him the truth about what? So that
Right.
could have been it. Like, oh, there were mutants and omnipotent gods like Apocalypse, because Apocalypse could, like I said, in the next couple of phases, he could be a big bad, that everybody will have to come together and defeat. Because because what was his like plan? I know in the cartoons and the comics, or the cartoons and the comics, that like he just wanted to be, I think, like human genocide. Basically, was it human genocide and just mutants that he can just rule over?
Yeah, he would just want. Yeah, that's basically what it comes down to. All humans needed to go, and the Phoenix power was the way to get our use. Sorry, Phoenix power. I got my houses mixed up for a minute. The power that Wanda held was the way to do that, right?
Mm.
And they manipulate her into, basically because of the loss of her. I believe because it happens right after the loss of her children, after that whole comic book, because like they were, because they were never really her kids. They were Mephisto's, and it was a whole thing, and it's very convoluted. But at the end of the day, that's the straw that broke her back. And is like, that's it. I'm changing the entire universe.
If I can't have my kids, I'm gonna take these mutants away. But
Yeah.
and then, like I said, it's going to be like if it happens, it's going to be in reverse. Like that's why they want to get rid of Wanda, or they want to hold Wanda hostage or whatnot. Is to um, hang. I just lost what I was going to say, but they're gonna use Wanda for something, or they're going to keep Wanda locked up because she's capable of undoing what they did. Maybe they the ones that did it, and Wanda is the only one that can fix it, basically. But they don't want that.
So, so okay, and I know we're talking all the big things, right? But here's my small, please let it happen moment, right? This is like, you're gonna be like, really? And I'm gonna tell you. So I'm a big Bruce Campbell fan. Like,
Mhm.
I think he's great. He is confirmed to be in the movie. And on episode, or first Spider-Man, he was in there. The second Spider-Man, and the third Spider-Man, he's been moving through, right? And he's got a spot. We're dealing with the multiverse. If I get to see him don the Mysterio costume, like even if it's just him walking and it's like Mysterio's lair or something, like it alludes to that, I'm gonna lose my mind because I wanted Bruce Campbell to be Mysterio so bad when I was younger. I was like, he would make a because he's like he fit the physique, he fit the kind of mindset. I feel that he was a really good fit. And we never got it was a payout we never got to see. It kept building and building and building, right? And he was always just in the background doing all these entertainment things, and he could never seem to catch a break. Like they were building it beautifully. And if I get just a nod to that, where he comes in and goes, "Huh, that's a cool fishbowl," or something like like I don't know, but I would lose my mind. I would lose my mind.
Well, yeah, I thought. Well, what made me think about Bruce Campbell right then. I just thought of this like the way they was doing Stan Lee in the MCU. I felt like if they would have if they're breaking him in, he could be another Watcher.
Ooh, okay, okay.
He could be another Watcher because he was one guy who was he in Spider Man One? Like what was he doing in Spider Man One?
In the first Spider-Man, he was the announcer to bring Spider-Man out.
Oh,
In
okay.
yeah, and then in Spider-Man 2, he was the usher. Who kept Peter out of seeing Mary Jane's play. And then now where he was in number 3, I'm gonna blank on.
He was
Um,
the restaurant guy
that's it, the restaurant guy. Yes, it's so like he's been in all of these spots. What's up, Spartan? Um,
as different
and it
people.
just right, and he's a struggling actor, and that was kind of like his stick in like a little bit of the comics, a little or the early iterations of the comics, especially in the he was like a special VFX guy in like a lot of the iterations of the shows. So it would be really cool to see that payout, in my opinion, like hardcore.
Cause like I said, if I'm not be able to see this movie and I'm in the hospital, well, my wife, she did give me a compromise saying that, hey, once the baby's out, like the most we're gonna be doing is sitting in the room sleeping. You can go see the movie and come back. I was like, you sure? Cause I don't want none of that. She was like, yeah, go ahead. But I was like, okay. So, but
Yeah, because
hopefully
it's gonna be that bonding time.
yeah, but hopefully I can catch the Thursday one. I got the Thursday showing at 3 p.m. Because in my opinion, from what I've seen, nobody goes into labor at no 3 p.m. They always go into labor like so late at night. For
Or
what I've
first thing
seen,
in the morning.
yeah, first thing in the morning, so late at night or first thing in the morning, not in the middle of the afternoon. If they're okay, going into the evening, okay, but not in the middle of the sunny afternoon. I don't know what it is of why would they go into labor so late at night or early in the morning. And I remember when my son was born, like we got there at the hospital at midnight, By the time she pushed him out, it was 9 a.m. Like, I was like, where did the time go? Yeah, I didn't understand that. Like, why did time go by so fast? Like, it needs to be like that when a person like at work or something. Like, by the time you sit down and work or get into the groove at work, it's time to go home. But
Right.
if I do happen to have to end up to miss it or to be in the hospital, I'm just gonna stay off social media for a couple of days because this is supposed to be like the one of the biggest movies ever, and it's supposed to be like the end of the multiverse saga. I think, is it or no?
Is I don't think it's. I think it's going to be. There's going to be a little more after it, but I think this is the big because it's going to end. It's going to finish up. We're going to get the last remnants of it when we're talking about what's going on with Thor, right?
Uh-huh.
So, because some of the effects are going to be felt in Thor, and then we have there's like a Guardians thing, which I'm sure there's going to be at least some kind of a thing because the Guardians branch off from there, but we don't see them except for the Christmas episode, right? And then we have She-Hulk on the other side of it, and then we go back into Star Wars territory for a minute, and then we come back to another. I can't remember what the next Marvel project after She-Hulk is. I think it's
Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel, yeah. So I think that's going to be the end of because that seems to be what it is. Like release like 2 or 3 TV series that kind of build you up into the next movie, then circle back to other content, build you up to the next movie, and then end with content that just kind of evens it out. So all the little dots and T's are crossed and dotted, right?
I know we're getting Loki season 2 next year. Was it? No, not
Yeah.
next year. I think it was the year after. Yeah. And what was this? What was it? What was that movie? That movie that was coming out after that? To be honest, I don't think the Guardians of the Galaxy will be. I don't think they'll be relevant when it comes to that after the multiverse stuff. I think they'll be doing their own thing with dealing with Adam Warlock in next year, and I heard that this is the last time we're going to see this group of the Guardians. If that makes sense.
So to follow up, it's mid 2023. So you're right, and
Mhm.
yes, this will be the last run. So that I can appreciate. Can we appreciate how Disney is trying to tie up loose ends? And yes, and that's the good thing, right? But as I mentioned, as the audience is kind of pointing out too, we're seeing that we're getting all that, we're getting a lot of content, and they're
Yeah.
using that content smartly.
Right.
And I appreciate that. But here's the rub: the more you flood the market with something, the less desirable it becomes. It's just the human nature, right? And
Right.
that's why I think it was a little boastful of Kevin Feige to say, "Well, I'm going to plan the next 10 years." Yeah, you're always planning for the future, so I support the cause. But we also have to address and be willing to say, well, if they do it right and they don't get too many bombs, then they're going to be just fine because it's Disney. They're just going to keep powering through it, right?
Oh yeah, we forgot about Ant-Man and the Quantumania. We forgot all about that. Well, I
Oh,
forgot
see,
all
and
about it.
because it got moved around. Like we're going to see that in
Yeah.
February, I think, right?
Yeah,
So
it was supposed to come out this year, wasn't it?
no, it was summer of next year.
2023. Okay.
Yeah, and then they're swapping it around. So because they're moving Miss Marvel to the summer blockbuster, and they're bringing the Quantum up to the front. So they're realigning things, and I think we're still seeing the ripple effects from COVID, right? So Chavez was supposed to be in No Way Home. Everybody's
Right.
very aware of that now, and that's the whole reason Ned was able to get the push, right? And that's super super awesome, and I support the cause. But it also caused us to flip flop Multiverse and No Way Home, right? So there's been a lot of readjustment and just completely like left field. Like, well, how are we going to make this work now? And we're seeing that ripple effect, and I really do see. I personally feel yes, Nova would be amazing. Um, I personally feel we're going to see that all the way into the end of this phase. I don't think it's ever going to catch its breath because as much story as you want to tell, at the end of the
Mhm.
day, we're still behind, in my opinion, and that's my opinion, of course.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel like it's. I feel like if people don't know now, or people are the casual moviegoers and just see a MCU movie every now and then, and be like, let's say if they saw the first Doctor Strange, and then they jump right into Multiverse of Madness, and they'd be like, "What happened? Why is this? Why is his hair longer or whatnot? Like, how many years has it been?" And I
Yeah,
wonder. And with Love and Thunder, I'm trying to figure out like how much time has passed since he left with the Guardians. Like, are we gonna get like another time skip? Because it seems like every Marvel property since Endgame is happening like a few weeks after. Yeah, a few weeks after Endgame, basically. Yeah, a few weeks after.
yeah,
Like No Way Home was a few weeks after. Was
yep.
it a few? Well, a few months after. Well,
Well, no, because it.
I think No Way Home went through a span over a few months. If I'm not, if I look at it one more time, like because by the time they got into the good stuff, like fighting Doc Ock and whatnot, on the bridge and whatnot, I figured that they was already out of high school, because since then they haven't went back to school. They only went to school once, and then after
Well,
that,
no
like,
way.
huh?
No, I'm gonna go ahead. Finish your thought.
Oh, I was just saying, like, since then, like, when they went to school once, that was it. Like, and after that, they was just getting college letters and whatnot. And then after everything contrived and the spell actually worked this time, and they forgot who Peter was, like, he had actually, never mind. The whole ending scene to No Way Home kind of debunked what I was trying to think about, because as he was moving into his apartment, he had books of a 10-year GED. So that's my fault.
Well, got to remember too. The big circulating theory at one point was that No Way Home was going to cross over with Falcon or with Hawkeye, and
Yeah,
it
yeah,
didn't.
yeah.
It took place the year after. So it's the year after all this happened because in Hawkeye they referenced that shield being the construction on that shield being started. So you're talking at that point you're moving into 2025. So
But
they're
I thought,
trying to uh, wow, we're both blanking out here. You know what?
all I know is her actress name, Florence Pugh.
Did you
Let
hear
me
any of that? I'm just
let me see. I got my
uh Yaren. Y-E-L Elena.
Yelena. Okay, okay. Yeah, Yelena. Yeah. I remember when Alena was talking to Kate. She said that she was talking as though about going to see the new Statue of Liberty, like it was already built.
Well, let's see. Let's expand on this a little further. Okay, so the short answer is to the question is that Hawkeye takes place in December 2024. After the events of Infinity War, 5 years have passed during Endgame, which means at this point the MCU has jumped forward to their version of 2023. So when Hawkeye ends, they're in 2024 going into 2025.
Mm. So okay, so No Way Home was in 2023, right? No Way Home was in
Yeah.
2023, and then we jump a year later. Was it? Was it? Because now I'm thinking about the end scene of No Way Home when he was swinging, and folks was just like trying to put that together. It's like, wait a minute, like Hawkeye and No Way Home was correlating together. Maybe it was just a coincidence. I don't know that he was like swinging and it
No,
was snowing.
they knew what they were doing.
Like
They
they,
wanted to drum up the. They wanted to drum it up, man, and that's because that was the biggest argument because I thought the entire time watching No Way Home when he does the flip out and he hops over everything that it was going to be like boom right here. That's we're going to see the battle going on for Hawkeye or the remnants of the battle from Hawkeye, but none of that was done, right?
all right.
So, but everything confirms that Hawkeye took place in late 2024, and it all says that No Way Home takes place after Hawkeye. It's definitely I
Oh,
agree.
okay, okay. Now I get it. Now I get it. Okay, now I get it. I'm pretty sure. You mind if I use that once I make a No Way Home video? You mind if I use that?
Yeah,
I'll credit you.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, absolutely. I'm
Yeah.
just I'm using the official Marvel site, and I used IMDb to back up my source, and also Collider. So
Okay.
if you wanna so that's what I was doing real quick. I was like, okay, so it says it here, but let's confirm it here, and then let's pull it from like a biased source, right?
Yeah.
Because if everybody's telling basically the same thing, then at that point we're good to go. That's the reason I love doing this with you because we can dig into it, right? Like because we normally go about an hour and a half, 2 hours or whatever. So we can like flesh it out, and then there's still good content, even if you take a minute to edit it, right? Like and just dig out some of the spots that don't make us look so super great.
Yeah. It's like I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying. Now I got to figure out of like now I know like where in the MCU timeline does No Way Home take place, and we can both confirm unless we're debunked that it takes place after Hawkeye.
After Hawkeye,
Okay, unless we're
everything
debunked,
I'm. Yep,
it takes place after Hawkeye.
that is correct.
Okay, so and then I wonder when they're going to get ready for when they're going to start shooting or go into production for the next trilogy of Spider-Man because they did announce they said it was official that Tom Holland Spider-Man is getting a new trilogy.
Okay, I'm okay with that, and I want to see what they do with it. So I'm excited based on that because if we finally get a Sinister Six, Sony stops dropping the ball and they um, get everything done. Oh, you're good, man. Here, our late attendee. It's all right. We've already talked about having to edit stuff out, so
And then
we'll
there's
take a half.
and then I know
Sorry, go
that
ahead.
the post-credit scene of No Way Home, Eddie Brock he left part of his Venom, part of the symbiote in Peter's world. So I don't know how does a piece of a symbiote survive by itself? Let me see.
So they're all interconnected to a hive mind, right? So the fact that he left a piece behind means that just like when, because in Venom 2, all that happens is a small minute of the actual symbiote that makes up Venom inserts Cassidy and then becomes Carnage, right?
Uh-huh.
And just that
Right.
small piece was built off it. So with that said, they're all controlled by a hive mind, and that's what they kind of explain in Multiverse of Mad or at the end of Venom 2 and No Way and then confirm in No Way Home is that he basically it's like a web that connects beyond the physical realm. So no matter it has no bounds. It can cross over uh, or universes. Distance doesn't impact it, but they have a collective knowledge. The Venom symbiotes all do. Well, the symbiotes in general. So that's the simplest answer that I can give you.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, that the simplest answer can make much sense of like what I was thinking because I was drawing a blank. Where I was like, how can that little small piece? No, I mean, well, also like, how can it like survive for so long like by itself without a host? Like, how long? Like how much time is going to pass? Between that time Eddie Brock was sent back and the next Spider-Man film. Like I'm trying to like feel like what's going to happen. Like who's it going
Okay,
to?
so the weird thing about that is that in the comics, Venom, the other symbiotes, they can live without a host if they've been on the planet long enough or have a certain amount of hosts throughout them. Because the current runs ago, there was Venom running by himself after the death of Flash Thompson, and after he got separated from Eddie Brock again. So he was on his own for a while.
Okay, okay,
So it depends on how they
because
do it in the movie.
okay.
they've done some things like right now in current MC lore. Like if you're pulling it up, what's up, buddy? We're doing. You have Riot, Phage, Lash, Agon, and Scream. And there's also
Oh,
Toxin out there.
yeah, Toxin.
So those are and that
There's also
doesn't
that one baby
include.
one.
I don't.
There's also that one baby one that likes Flash Thompson's son. I can't remember his name.
I
You know the one
heard
I'm talking about.
Toxin was the most childish, but the less
It was
less
the
evil.
youngest, but now he has a younger sibling.
So the most powerful symbiote is God. Now I'm not gonna remember his name. God,
The god
he's
of all
like
symbiotes.
yeah, the god of all symbiotes. Like they're coming out. They just released it
No,
on Hasbro. Null. So Null's the
No,
most
yeah.
power. He's the one who's basically if you wanted to give it a hive mind, that's who you would be
Yep.
like. That guy's responsible for all this, right?
yeah,
But
because
they can live.
yeah,
Go
he
ahead.
was there at the birth of the universe. He saw the Celestials making the universe. So he's old as
Yeah.
hell.
Yes, and it's
I'm sorry.
because
I
of
don't like
him.
No.
I think he's super overpowered.
Really?
He
Yeah.
he is. He was so unnecessary. The symbiotes were cool enough on their own. They didn't need some high mind that was driving everything they do. That kind of makes them lose the personalities that they have. Because it used to be that they get the personalities from the people they were hosted with. Like,
Yes.
because
Correct.
original Venom was with Deadpool before Spider-Man got him in Secret Wars, so that's why he was crazy. And when he
You
went to
want to know
Spider-Man, he got
why?
fell some
You
that good
know
side,
what?
and he became obsessed with it.
The symbiotes. It seems like okay. It seems like they had. I was just thinking just now, like the symbiotes when they combine with a human host, Not saying
Hmm.
no any other entity, demon entity or
Yeah,
alien entity or whatever.
just human.
When
I
they
got you.
become with a human, they become. I feel like they become more powerful, and exact like exactly with the offspring. Also, it kind of
Well,
reminded me of how if you know the story of the Guyver. Have y'all seen the Guyver? The Guyver
Yeah.
anime?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
reminds me of that when
Blood armor.
what
yeah.
was it Blood Armor?
I thought it. Yeah, because I thought that's the. I'm sorry. You may be
Oh,
because there
it's
are multiple Guyver iterations. So
yeah,
Okay.
bio boosted armor, not the live action version, because
no, no,
yeah, because
that's a.
yeah,
We like it. We just keep it right here.
the first movie was okay. The second movie was the closest it was to the actual manga. So yeah, and then yeah, I feel like that kind of relate. I guess like it kind of like relates to Venom in a way because I know the aliens created the humans and then they created the Guyvers, and I guess like when two alien experiments mesh together, it become too powerful and whatnot. But I could just be grasping at straws or reaching, but it's kind of the same, like because when they combine with a human, they're it seems like they'll get more powerful that way. Well, the
I think it's
symbiote.
because like it combined with because there's a lot of metahumans on Earth, on Marvel Earth, and a
Yeah,
lot of metahumans and villains like Spider-Man's Rogue Gallery, Scorpion, and I think Rhino also got hit with the symbiote before. So it retains the powers and the knowledge, and so it goes to the hive mind. So pretty much almost any other symbiote can access it too. That's why they get even stronger on Earth because they have all those powers to pull from. And I think that's right. I'm right.
Well, so every symbiote that gets launched out, right, and grows with the host, adds it does have its own unique personality because that's part of the stick, right? And it adds to
Right.
the overall knowledge of the web of the symbiotes, right? So since Null's been around since like the birth of the universe, right? He there
Yeah, one of those portals.
by the time we get to Venom, their knowledge, they've taken
no,
over planets at this point. They've taken
Yeah.
over multiple different species. So their knowledge base is so strong, and then because the way they sell it, in my opinion, is, and especially in the comics, I feel, and you see that with Anti Venom, right? Anti Venom is
Yeah.
Eddie Brock in current times, but it's the first real, like, in my opinion, the first real opportunity where we can cause some serious damage to a symbiote because we've adapted to them adapting to us, which I know sounds funny,
yeah,
but
it does.
It is.
Yeah, it
Flash
does.
but
Thompson had that
that's
inside Venom first though. I miss him,
yeah,
man. I miss Flash Thompson so much.
absolutely. But he brought something very unique that had never been done
Yeah.
before, but that was only because I don't feel he would have been able to have that if he didn't start off, you know,
Without legs.
yeah, that's kind of where I'm at on that.
Yeah, I
Why is
agree.
it
Like,
Ron's favorite?
no, I
Yeah, they
completely agree
can't.
with you. He
Yeah,
needed that leg
I think
to be the
like
hero.
none of the symbiotes could like the offspring after that. They couldn't climb on walls until they were attached to Spider-Man, and then like after Venom gave birth to and Carnage gave birth to children and whatnot. Now they have the same powers as Spider-Man, if not more. Climbing walls and have organic well-being, and
Teamwork. Yeah.
but yeah, I guess like I feel like whatever. Let's say like let's say if they never, if Venom never got to Spider Man, what if he had got to somebody like Wolverine or Captain
He
America
did.
or
Wolverine has been affected, so has Captain America. But they got to Deadpool first.
oh yeah, I'm just
So
saying
let's
like
answer.
what if they never got to Spider Man? What
Oh,
if
never.
yeah, what if he would have just got to Wolverine? Like I feel like that could have been unstoppable too because you know
Well, he
adamantium and
did have it.
immortality and
So let's answer this question from the chat log here. I'm
Okay.
gonna let Burst go first, then Omega, and then I'll follow it up. So, what
Okay.
is everyone's favorite iteration of Venom? Now, I'm gonna expand on that. If it's not Venom directly, and you can use
Okay.
Marvel, or you can either use comic, anything in the cinematic or the comic universe. What
You
is
can
your
probably guess my favorite
favorite?
one is.
I know. I have mine, and that's the reason I'm expanding on this because I've always
Gotcha.
been before we got all these growths, but I'm going to answer that in a minute. But anyway, so
I got you.
any symbiote, but give me the reason why it's your favorite and why you would choose it over Venom.
oh
Oh.
oh
Okay.
I only person I know is I mean other than if I know Venom and I just take I would take Carnage. I'll take Carnage and
Classic answer.
I would take the movie version of Carnage because I felt like he was I mean even though his comic iteration and other TV show iterations like he was
Broken.
mostly untamed. He was mostly untamed, even going as far as in the movie, even going as far as you know, trying to kill Cassius Cletus Cassidy girlfriend, tried to kill her because she had some form of the symbiote's weakness was the sonic screams and whatnot. But
Right.
other than that, like that's like I found that whole disgruntled partnership with Cletus and Carnage's relationship. I found that little dysfunction of the relationship kind of cool, because you don't know when Carnage will turn on you. Like he could be doggone sleeping, and doggone you like, okay, I'm getting tired of Cletus or Cassius, whatever. I keep forgetting his name. I keep butchering his name, but all right, I'm getting tired of him. I'm just gonna kill him in his sleep and just use his body as a meat suit. Which
That's it.
they could do. They could do, but I don't know why they choose not to. They can actually just kill their host and just use their body, you know. But yeah, that's my iteration of Carnage was the movie version.
All right.
Cool. I respect it.
All right. What do you got for me, Omega? Break it down.
Okay, so my favorite version. So I'm a little biased here because military and everything like that. But my favorite is Agent Venom with Flash Thompson. Multiple reasons. One, he's backed by Captain America himself, as well as Shield. So he's not like just running wild. And do what's to him. And the partnership he brings to Venom, because he treats Venom as a person, as a partner. No other person has ever been that nice to Venom, in my opinion.
Really?
Like, and not only did they became a hero on Earth, they went to outer space, and they were saving multiple planets. Like, they were like one of the biggest deals in heroes at this time. And Flash Thompson was a war vet. He lost both his legs, and he was confined to the chair. He was given one opportunity, and he did the most with it. And he would have stayed with Venom too if he didn't accidentally got the anti-Venom formula. If it wasn't for that, I feel like they would still be together to this day. And that's why Agent Venom is my favorite. Of course,
Omega, did you said he went to outer space?
Yeah.
Agent Venom.
Yeah.
Didn't he join the Guardians of the Galaxy?
Well, he's with them.
I heard that he wanted to. I heard.
I mean, he got a ride from them from like one time or another,
Yeah,
but like he was mostly on his own with his own spaceship and a robot guide.
Oh, they allowed him.
Oh yeah. Also, the guns. Oh man, I'm a sucker for guns, especially the way Agent Venom used it. Thanks for reminding me, Drew. You can't tell me that wasn't cool. The way the Venom suit would launch it and everything in the comics, straight from his mind and everything. You haven't seen it?
I haven't. I'm okay. Like I said, there are 3 comic storylines that I'm pretty relatively fluid in. I've been following Venom since I was a kid. So I try to pick those up as soon as it comes up. I've been a Venom fan like since the Sega Genesis era in the 90s. The first time we got to see him. I'm a fan.
I got you.
And then I follow, and then because of that, there were the spin-offs, and I stayed pretty close to that. And then I try to stay current with the Avengers run. After recent debates I've had, I realized that I need to circle back to some stuff, so I'm down for that. And then, of course, I follow every single issue of the Power Rangers as they come out. So,
of course.
But I feel that goes without saying.
I got one more question.
We see your collection.
I got one more question before you give your answer there. With comic book arcs, right? Do y'all just read the straight events, or do y'all read the actual event and the tie-ins also?
Do you want to go first, Gold? Okay.
Yeah, I'll do that I'm gonna throw maybe a possible curveball. So I'm gonna answer the first piece of the question, and that is, who would be my favorite symbiote and why I think he's better than Venom. I got super excited when we got Toxin. I was, the way he came out, and then the bond the two of them had, or the bond that Venom tried to forge with him to get him off the path, right? And it just like it was like it was an immovable force beast, an unstoppable object, and we all saw it. Like every issue that pops out and everything that came left field from that, I really feel at the end of the day they had a really great story arc. It touched base with it enriched. I feel the overall backstory because Carnage and Venom we all are. Anyways, I grew up with. So to see that what would happen if we took it to the next level was super cool. So then the other piece of that is because of that, I will follow up on the majority of any of the symbiote lines. I won't go out of my way to read just a Black Panther run or just a Captain America run. It's a lot. Like I sometimes have trouble staying up with the Power Ranger comics, because there's so many iterations of them, right? And I feel like I gotta pick and choose my battles.
Yeah, because the Mighty Morphin run and then Power Rangers run, like they were pretty separate until that Arthurian War arc. Because like I was reading reading Power Rangers straight out, and then I tried to read, but then I found, I was like, wait a minute, this is not where I left off. And then I find out you have to read the Power Rangers.
You have to read the bottom where it says continue in such and such issue. You have to read it.
Yep.
I was hoping Power Rangers was going to be able to avoid that, and they were just going to do like side stories. So like because comics, when they get like DC and Marvel, it's kind of complicated to explain to other people. Oh, you have to read this issue, but you only have to read 2 issues in this portion, and then you got to read another book to finish it up, and then another. Like I've been doing it for a long time reading comics, so it's easy for me. But to get more new viewers into comics, especially for Power Rangers, I feel like they should just keep it as simple as possible and just do different side stories, which they're doing right now with the Omega line, which I appreciate.
Yeah. What was that with Dark Knight's Metal? Dark Knight's Metal, like it expanded for like over a year, I think, and I read that whole. It took me maybe a couple of days to read that whole arc, and I was like, wait a minute, like that's only like 6 issues of the main arc, but I gotta read all these tie-ins just so it will make sense for the actual main.
I'm gonna tell you something, man, that I know I shouldn't be doing. That makes me a bad fan. But like a lot of times when I gotta read a tie-in and I can't like get that issue, or like I can't afford it, I sometimes read the tie-in online. Well, I'm not gonna be honest, man.
Yeah,
I do support all comics, but like when there's too many, and I just can't afford it.
You ain't saying nothing here, because that's all I do is read it online.
And like, listen, I go once a month and I pick up some of the real good gems that come out of all the Power Ranger lines, right?
That art, man.
That art, yeah, and that's the main reason, is because the art is so dope. But really, all honesty, I just have Kendall drop me as it comes out. It gives me an email. It says, "Hey, by the way, this is now available." Then it downloads it to my thing. It charges it to my card, and I just read it. And then because if I don't do that, I'm gonna get lost. And then I cannot stand chasing down a comic. That's the reason I feel for Spartan right now, because he's trying to fill in the gaps. That is one of the hardest things to do, especially when you're talking wool, right? Not a small amount. Like, you're not just missing 1 or 2. He's missing gaps, and that's rough. And that's what I'm going to try to help him out.
The trade is the word for the books, right? With multiple volumes.
Yeah, the King is Black art. That was that is very long, because I'm barely through Venom for that run, for that major story arc, because I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Because I actually
you said the Venom run. You gotta be a little more specific for me, man. I mean, there's like a lot of Venom runs.
The King,
like what year?
Black art.
Okay, the no one.
Yeah, the King is Black art. Okay, I was actually just finna read the main story, but I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? Because like when I read one part, it was like, oh, the Avengers are dealing with falling Celestials. And I was like, wait a minute, what, like, where did this happen at? Cause I know I've been following along. I know I can read, like, but then it was like, oh, no, this whole arc expands through multiple comics. So I managed to find that online, the whole arc. Yeah, I managed to find that whole arc on there. I managed to got up to Venom number 15.
Right.
And I was like, wait a minute, I'm investing too much time right now. I got other things to do. So, but
It
yeah,
always
Real
I
be
got
like
talk.
the
that.
whole
It
Canadian.
always be like that. I just read a couple issues. I'm on issue 15 right now. What the
Yeah.
heck just happened? I left my whole day.
But that's part of it. Like, if you want to be able to participate in the debates, if you want to be able to have a conversation about it, if you don't want to, like, I feel like overall, I was really well prepared to have a debate, a Marvel versus DC debate with Black Panther. I was not. There are so many things I was missing. I mean, don't get me wrong. He played by the rules. He stayed within the. He wasn't a jerk about it. He was actually very cool about it. Going through the pieces and everything. So, hang on just a second.
Bye.
Bye. Love you.
Love you.
So that's, and I
Yeah,
appreciate him a lot for that. Like,
Mhm.
sorry, just give me half a second. Like, I appreciate him a lot for that, but it just showed me how underprepared I am, because if we're gonna have, like, I'm gonna have, like, next time I do this with him, I'm gonna have a set, like, he threw, like, Martian Manhunter at me, he threw Black Panther of the current run at me, and he threw Ghost Rider at me. So I didn't have, like, in Power Ranger lore, we don't have anything that could stand up to a penance stare. Like,
No.
I don't know.
Well,
Like, I don't.
well,
I
Divatalk
mean,
can
that
turn
all
people into
depends.
doctors. Apparently. Do you hear me?
I mean, if it's
Divatalk can
Lord
turn anyone
Draken,
into a doctor.
if it's Lord Draken, then he's gone. But as far as like
You know how
teenagers
penance
with
stare works,
attitude,
right? All their jokes.
what, what
Yeah, because
what
it
has
would work on him.
the Mighty Morphin Team has done to then go and get affected by the penance stare, unless it does more than just look into all the
Well,
bag.
it would definitely affect Jason, Zach. It would affect all of them because Jason's leadership. He always questions himself, and then when he lies to
Oh,
the team and everything, like he would definitely be affected by that. Kimberly has a lot of baggage from her parents' divorce in the comics, and also the way she treated the new Rangers, so she got baggage there. Billy just always
so it's
felt
not just
inadequate, and
murder. It's more of guilt and the kind of
guilt
person
also
you
works
are.
too.
Okay. Ooh, yeah. So you
Because it's more than
were
just
right.
everything bad you did. It's just like everything that affects you negatively in your life hits you all at once, including the bad things.
Oh well. But will the morphing grid
Right.
protect them?
Well, no,
You
because at
think?
some point,
Okay,
at
here's the
some
thing.
point, it's
They
gonna.
have helmets on. They do have helmets and visors on. And yes, I've seen it go through someone's sunglasses before, but the visor is a whole-on protective dome. Like, would it work on, let's say, did it work on Black Panther? Like, we can use him for example. If it has worked on Black Panther with the vibrating suit on, I think it will probably work on the Rangers. I'm not sure.
Well, and see,
I don't
that's
know.
my question, right? I can't just base it. I have to base it on feats and receipts, right? So I can't
Because I don't
just
think I've ever seen
arbitrarily.
Because that's why I asked. I was like, I don't think that's ever happened before.
Now, if they would have
And
did
that's.
now with
Go
debates,
ahead.
like I'm not a debater, but if you would try to say, "Oh, I'm going to debate you with my anime verse, and you get Yu Yu Hakusho, whatever, doggone. Hey, I
Yeah.
can debate about Yu Yu Hakusho all day.
Okay. You just can't destroy the planet easily. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, I don't care what anybody says either. Yeah, if Genkai, if like they said in comments, like if they say that he can do it, because I know they let certain heroes get by just by saying, oh, if he could
Yeah.
destroy the planet, or if he could like
But here's
go
the
to
thing.
hell
He
and come
was
back to life or
shaking the
whatever.
planet. He
Yeah.
fought a guy who shook the planet. Like everything was being shook. They had to move to the demon. The planet. Like everything was being shook. They had to move to the demon world. Not to destroy them. And he gets much stronger than that 3 years later. Of course, he's gonna do it.
It's the fact that they said it on the show. They said if one
Yeah.
S
And in the
class
manga.
demon. It's the fact that they said it on the show. They said if one
Yeah,
S
and in the
class
manga.
demon, yeah, if
Yep.
one S class demon managed to get into the human world would have been destroyed. That whole scene right there, even though it was just a visual of what could happen because Yusuke was thinking it was
Yeah.
like on a nuke level. It wasn't no dog. We didn't know what the nuke was doing. It just shows that yeah, they mean business. We talking about Hiroshima type
Yeah.
type
Much
powers or
stronger.
whatever. Yeah, like
So they
Yusuke.
said they can one tap the planet. No longer.
Yeah, and Yusuke said at the end he was like, I could dump this whole ocean on you if I wanted to.
Yeah.
And see, that's so. And okay, so like one of my goals is to be able to have the ability to match feats with DC and Marvel. So I have some legs I can stand on because they did a DC
Yeah.
Power Rangers crossover, right?
Right.
So I have some data. Like I was able to take out. Okay, so I was able to take out Martian Manhunter, but the right way I was able to do it is we had to go ahead and kind of come to an agreed upon scale. So we can take out Batman because he was like, oh wow, they're fast and they're martial arts, so we're just gonna, if we throw hands, we're gonna win that, right? But when Green Lantern got involved, he used the power ring. We called the Zords, not in Megazord mode, and we shattered the ring. Like, well, we didn't shatter the ring, we shattered the bubble. So we broke his concentration. Yeah, the construct. Thank you. So we shattered the construct. So to now Superman himself, which is a feat we looked up, Superman takes a lot of punches to break down a construct from a Green Lantern. Like he can't just go and one shot that, right? So we were able to do it with the combined power of 6 Zords on individual mode. So we said, okay, so that's the equivalent of what we're looking at. That's the firepower we have, right? So now we went, okay, so that's our base level. But we haven't gone to Megazord mode, and we're not including Ultrazord mode, and so we do have to get to the Zords, right? Like that's our.
And you guys were talking about the original Zords, right? Not the Thunder Zords,
yeah,
just the original.
We're talking. So right now we're only going through the power cycle of what was available to use as context in the original DC Power Rangers crossover.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So we came to the conclusion that we could basically Ultrazord. We could go Ultrazord mode, and we would bombard Martian Manhunter, and we would be able to eliminate Martian Manhunter. But here's the rub, right?
Yeah. He can go intangible though.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
But think about the.
He can just go intangible through the whole thing.
Think about the fire
get him out
too, though. Think about the fire-based Rangers like Jaden and Nick from Mystic Force.
They were just talking about the original ones because of the comic.
Okay, but based on new comic lore, that's now just a phobia, and it won't impact him as it has in the past. So it won't freeze him.
Okay. So it's just a phobia.
Yeah, that's why I said I didn't even mention it because of that.
Oh, okay.
And see, my argument with the phasing is that yes, but that's where the bombardment comes into play, right? When you look at the way that it's shot, because you could use the same, you could use this. It's not just one. We're consistently boop 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 boop. We're pushing the button and we're holding it, right? So, and it's not a one-shot deal. We've been able to upstep the Ultrazord level and then release that on more than one assault. So it's just our game ender, right? Like it doesn't drain us to use Ultrazord in battle mode, right? We can just keep firing. So at that point, it's just a matter. It's a who gets there faster, right? If we get him, and now the argument was the Power Rangers are having a good day, so that means we're hitting our mark, right? And that's how we're gonna do it. But it has to be bombardment, right? Because at that point, we equivocated that if you go to Ultrazord mode, it's 16 times the power as the standard 6 Zords in their own. right? So I'm hitting somebody with 16 times the amount of kinetic force and explosive concussive energy that it takes to break the Green Lantern construct. So on that, and I know there's some variables, and you could probably pick it apart, but that's where we settled, right? Like, we just couldn't overcome Panther, and we couldn't overcome Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Well, I am going
No,
to say this as a Zach fan, because I feel like everybody underestimates the Mastodon. But you do know his Arctic freeze is below -0, right?
Yes,
Or at least it can get below -0.
it's
that
right.
can
It's right. It hovers
I'm
right
not
here.
saying it's going to win. I'm not
it
going to
can
say it's
slow
going to
them
win the
down.
fight, but I do think it can slow down a lot of the.
Yeah, it can slow them down for a
Power.
while, especially Martian Manhunter. It could definitely slow him down for a while. And
Yeah, it's not slowing down Black Panther though.
it's definitely
I
not
mean, it'll
slowing down
physically slow
Clark.
down, but he has like heat in his suit. Like, he might move slower, but he still has heat in his suit, so it's not going to damage him too hard.
Oh yeah, and I got another hill that I'm willing to die on, and I felt that how everybody was mentioning it was wrong
Is this
though.
the
Like I,
one?
I got another hill. It's not Power Rangers. It's mainly the
Sure.
hill I'm going to die on is that like Spider-Man's Peter Parker does stand a chance against Sasuke from Naruto. I'm
Oh,
willing
I thought
to
you were about to say Wolverine. Okay, you
no.
said Sasuke?
Yeah, Sasuke for Naruto because because I was thinking about it when because I watched the episode of Naruto one day and then I just happened to watch that episode of Ultimate Spider-Man when Dr. Strange was on there where everybody got affected by I guess like they was affected and got put to sleep but the only person that was able to come back that um was Peter and Danny. So I felt that Peter's spider sense kit would not be affected by the Sharingan, in a manner of speaking.
Well, it won't be affected, but I don't know if he's fast enough to react to someone like Sasuke because he's not fast enough to react to Quicksilver. Has bodied him with his spider sense.
Yeah,
So
and that's what
it
I
is
was saying. Like I know he could at least. I'm not saying he's going to win. I know for a fact
okay.
that he can
You saying
hang.
he's hanging with them? Okay.
Yeah, he's hanging with Sasuke
I
for
mean, current Sasuke lost his Renegon. He lost an eye. Wait, isn't current Sasuke dead? Now that I think about it,
I don't know. I haven't seen the manga or
I
anything
think he
like
might be dead actually. But the last I knew, he lost his Renegon. He doesn't have a arm, and he got stabbed in the eye recently. So
that.
he only has one eye and one Sharingan. So
But I
possibility.
know for a fact that he's elite. I mean, Peter might be on the offensive the whole time, but I know for a fact that he can get some hits in.
I'm willing to support the cause. I mean, like, I'm not. I don't have. I feel like I don't have a dog in this fight. Like, for me, I'm kind of like, sure,
Yeah,
like,
I
it's
don't like
like
Sasuke. So, like, I don't like
I
Sasuke.
But I
well,
know
that's what
for a
makes
fact,
this.
I know that, and I also know that Yusuke came out the floor with Inuyasha. I'm dying on that hill too.
Oh yeah, that's easy. That's easy. Okay, I also said Yusuke would mop Sasuke, he'll mop Naruto, he'll mop Inuyasha, he'll mop his brother Shishomaru. All of them, they got no chance. He'll take out every tail beast.
And
But Yusuke,
he at least stands a chance with Aizen. He at least stands a chance with Eisen because, because I know the Poltergeist movie. If you haven't seen it yet, the Poltergeist movie.
no, I
Uh,
haven't seen it.
I know for a fact that because he was getting affected by this guy that he was fighting. I guess he has the power of like mind control or something like that. But it didn't affect TA because of his third eye, his Jagan eye.
It's Jigan,
So
yeah. It
so
prevent
I
mind control.
guess so I guess Eisen's.
Call me a Sochu, Aizen. Okay, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I see
My only
Eisen's
thing is like, personally,
hypnosis.
I feel like Bleach characters aren't fun to put in fights.
Yeah,
Because they got like so many feet. They have so many stated things where the feat doesn't match until like much later, like the end of the show, that they finally start showing the feats they scheduled to do. and you're just like, how am I supposed to scale this? How am I supposed to
I'm supposed
like
to scale like
and like a
I'm
lot of
supposed
things
to
they say
scale
just
like
makes no
his
sense.
attack to a DC or a Marvel character or something like that. I know. I remember they was I remember I saw a debate between King Lion and some other dude saying that Kenpachi was galaxy level just because he was somewhere. I know it was a fight.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
know
yeah.
there
I
was a
heard that.
fight he was doing in the thousand year blood arc or whatever. I'm gonna wait till the
Yeah.
anime comes out, but yeah, they was like, yeah, Kapashi can breathe in space or something like that, or can fight in space or some crap like that. I was like, dang, they really going this far with Bleach characters.
Well, technically, since they're spirits, they don't need heirs to breathe. They're just
Oh, really?
Reiatsu.
Okay,
Yeah, they don't need
okay,
heirs.
that makes sense.
They leave like Ichigo. He's a substitute Soul Reaper. He leaves his body behind, but his body
Oh,
still has to be protected. The other ones, they're just made. They were born for Reiatsu and they became our body.
oh. That's the same thing for the ones that's actually born in the Soul Society.
Yeah, they're just born from Reiatsu. They're born for spirit entry one day.
Oh, so okay, because what about the
But
ones
there's
that?
also spirits that came from the world living to the spirit world, and they some of them just stay regular spirits, like have a human looking self, and some of them like learn how to use Reiatsu, and that's why
Oh,
they have that
okay,
academy there. That Renji
okay.
and Ishiro,
Ryukyu
yeah,
was
all the other,
the poor district.
yeah, pretty much. Wow, you're making me unlock so much information right now. I put Bleach down, man. Like I officially put it down. They point out so much information.
I caught up on Bleach. I caught up on Bleach as of late because folks was just talking
I
about
caught
Bleach
up on the
for a
manga,
whole
man.
month, and I was like, let me watch it again and see what's
Yeah,
going
you
on
watched.
here. see what
I
I
read the
missed.
entire manga back when the anime got canceled.
And
It's
back in the day, I didn't know what a damn filler episode was. Like I was watching every episode until I found out. I was like, oh, you can skip the bounce.
I feel bad for you.
Oh, you can skip
Yeah,
the
Yeah, get the
the
bounce back.
that's rough because I'll never forget my first experience with a filler episode. Thank you, DBZ. But I that was like legitimately my first time where I'm like, so they're gonna do absolutely nothing for the next 20 minutes. Right, got you. Like, and I'm not hate. I really am not trying to hate on it, right? But logistically, guys, like, and they're okay with
No,
it.
no, no.
Why?
I
Because
got
of
a
the
story about that, man. I got a
right.
story. The
and Naruto
anger
makes
I
it
had.
worse.
Okay, so for my summer, right? I saved up money because I'm at Dollar General. They had the 4 episodes of the Perfect Cell
Where you
fight
going?
versus Vegeta fight, right? And it was one of my favorite fights I saw, right? I saved up money for the whole summer. I said put a whole thing because it was $40 to buy it, right? Whole summer. I said put a whole thing because it was $40 to buy it, right? I finally get it.
It don't
I
matter.
take it home, and you want to know what the first episode was?
A filler.
Vegeta yelling.
Like it's his.
Nah.
The whole all 4 episodes was Vegeta yelling and everybody commenting on it. I am not joking. It's just ah, his power. He's amassing. And at the very end, he starts saying final. That's it. He's like,
Huh.
final to be continued on the next episode. It
I
took
mean,
me
we were
everything
kids.
out of my body not to destroy that tape.
I mean,
And I couldn't return it either.
back then,
That
back
was
then,
rivalry, man.
folks
I
was
was
like,
a cheater.
back then,
That
back
was
then,
rivalry, man.
folks was
I was a
like,
child. I was like 10 years old.
cliffhangers were like, dang, like, I guess I'll have to come back tomorrow. But, dealing with a
No, I
show,
didn't get anything.
huh?
I think that's also why Dragon Ball Z dropped more for me as a kid growing up than other people.
Mm.
Because most people, they saw like a couple episodes here and there, so they only remember like the good parts. They don't remember watching it all together at one time,
I
Yeah,
support
and
that.
they probably haven't watched it yet.
yeah. And
You don't get that in Yu Yu Hakusho, though, man. Let me tell you something. They don't do that stuff.
they don't do none of that at
And
all. Like it's straight up story. Straight up story. You may got an episode or two when Yusuke's all depressed, some like who to fight next or, and whatnot. I'm too strong for him. He made it that twice in the entire
yeah,
series. And then
man, I
since
like how he wasn't depressed. Yeah,
say what?
I like how he wasn't depressed after Genkai died, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna fuck you up, Tagore. I'm gonna fuck you. Just wait. Oh man, I ain't scared of you no more. You're gonna be scared of me of this fight." And then he ends up.
Boy, the Dark Tournament had folks on the edge of their seat. I'm telling you that. I'm telling you that when I first saw it, I was like, is this really happening right
Yeah,
now? Like I was like, and
I
then
still say Chapter Black was better. I still say Chapter Black was better.
yeah,
No
Chapter
one
Black
believes me,
is
but I
better.
still say Chapter Black.
And Chapter
Wait,
Black
really? You
made me
believe?
doggone think like, is there such a tape out there in the real world?
Yeah, like humans. Like I like how they showed like demons and humans can both be bad. Like it's
Yeah,
not just someone. It's not just
yeah,
your race. It's just what you do in life.
yeah. It was like that's what it taught. It taught me like, well, Power Rangers did that too. Like, not everything is in black and white as far as like evil goes. Like you did have evil doers, but there still had some sense of honor. Like Ecliptor, but Darkonda, he
Man,
was evil. He was evil all the way.
we're
Like
gonna talk about
he
Void
did.
Knight. We're gonna talk about Void Knight. His wife.
Yeah, his wife don't. His wife don't give a damn. She
They
was
basically
like,
make him Mr. Freeze.
she
Yeah.
was like, I'm not leaving. Not until I finish
So
what I started.
So, okay, guys, that kind of brings us into one of our second to last topics for the night, right?
Uh-huh.
So, now
Yep.
that we're in the realm of Dino Thunder, Power Rangers, everybody's basically, if you haven't caught up on it at this point, guys, this is your spoiler warning in 3, 2, 1, right? So, now we're at a point where Void Knight has kicked it and given up his power source. We have the Void Queen who is chilling out and basically like, nope, I want the planet. And the Rangers have finally kind of come together, right? So that's super exciting. Like we're all on one united front. Now, given that everyone's caught up on it, what are the two major things you want to see out of this last piece? This last drop, the second half.
I would want well, you probably have to come back for the second thing there, but the first thing is unfinished business with Zed. Because he's still out there.
Hell yeah, I support that.
I
Yeah,
feel
he might.
you, but I really want Zed to wait for the 30th anniversary. I think Zed would play better if he had like a whole
Arc?
show to himself.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because he like showed up. You know what I'm saying? Like let him have more to do and just show up at the very end and just like either get defeated or escape.
Yeah.
So we can
Oh
focus on
yeah.
him more later.
Because he got to get his staff back from Grid Battle Force.
Yep.
So wherever it might
Also, his
be.
other half, Zed's other half. Well, sorry, the original Lord Zed, because he got turned into human. He's still alive.
Yeah.
So,
Like,
so for me,
you think
my push. So like my push for this is where I go with this. Like I agree with you guys. The Zed thing has to happen. We have to and like you said, it'd be nicer to have like, the 30th and really pay homage to 30 years of Power Ranger lore and history. But let's tease him at the end of the last episode. Let's see him get into like break in to the Beast Morphers command center, and
HQ?
then what happened?
The HQ, yeah, I'm listening.
No, so they come into HQ, and then the season premiere is an epic crossover. Why? Because we already have the ability to pull Rangers because now we're set in the Beast Morphers area, and then you have the Dino Charge Rangers coming in, and then the team that leaves back. Now that's the bait and the switch for me. That's the new team we follow because it's a new Ranger team we haven't seen. It's already got some, let's give them like they've been together, and it's an established team, and we've done that. We've seen established teams, kind of take the runs, and kind of like an A Squad version, right? That came in and helped them battle Lord Zed because it was an interdimensional threat that had to be resolved. That's what I would love to see, and that would be a heck of a way to kick off your 30th anniversary.
Man, you just painted the way I wanted to.
You talking about the handoff season that they were talking about?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Most definitely. And then there's talks of David Yost coming back, which is probably because out of the original 6 that started it all, he's the one. I feel like he's the one that's been doing the most since he left Earth.
Right? He's still with the Aquitar Rangers.
Yeah. And this man probably had children, probably been to other planets, learning new things. Like, he could have easily, and we could have.
I really hope he has a husband and not a wife.
And we could have expanded upon that theory of Billy creating the turbo powers, because they said Billy was disappearing, at intricate times when the Gold Ranger appeared in Zeo. And he could have been working on the turbo powers and whatnot. He could have been making powers of his own to give to.
Originally, he was supposed to be in the Turbo movie.
Yeah.
I heard rumors like that too, but I heard rumors like that too, but it just never really worked out after that. So here's good
canon. I said it'd be nice if they make that canon. And also, I really hope they don't keep him with that girl he was with when he first left. Remember, he said he met that lady he really liked, and that's why he decided to stay on the planet. I really hope that they end that with a man.
I mean,
we know it wasn't the real.
I mean, if he would have had to have kids this past 25 years.
I mean, they're aliens. I'm just saying, there's other ways to have kids besides being with a female. From a different race.
You talking about asexually, or through how they did off?
How smart Billy is. He can make a chamber. He can make a birthing chamber really easy.
Oh,
this conversation took a weird turn.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Omega, because that could be a character plot point for a certain Ranger, and be like, am I even real? Kind of bring that whole. Yeah.
Yes. Of course you're real. You're born. You're born pretty much the same way as all the other childs. You just weren't born in a woman.
It was it's been 2 years since how they did with Matt. I thought that.
Can you imagine telling that Birds of the Bee story? Like, hey, Dad, how was I born? Well, you see, me and your dad got to thinking one day it'll be really a cool idea to have some kids. So we built a machine to make. We slice some of my DNA, we slice some of his DNA, and we got you.
And we
were like, you know what? This works.
And we could get some character conflict with Billy and his child, saying Billy could if there was a secret war going on or something, and Billy could be making backdoor deals with forces of evil, with the new reform. It could go back to that point where Billy helped rebuild the Machine Empire in Forever Red to combat a new evil that's supposed to be coming. I don't know. It's I don't know. That thought just came to mind.
I was thinking his kid got bullied in school because he wasn't fully Equation, and he had a half human parent. Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
And then like we talked about before, make matters worse that he wasn't even born naturally. He was born in a birthing chamber, kind of like Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn.
See, and I think these are some really good theories. I'd be excited to see it, or see where it flows. So, because I know we kind of all, came in late. Do you want to go ahead and... No, it's fine. I did too. I was 30 minutes late to it, and then we took a while trying to get up and running. But do we want to talk about any projects we have coming up? Anything like that? Anything, guys, you want to plug or whatever?
Well, I don't really want to plug anyone, but I do want to plug my boy Kevlar for making me that wonderful helmet.
Oh, he made that for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he made the Omega Gold one. Yeah, that was for me.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I thought he was just making it to, to be, just to be practicing,
Nah, he's the homie, man. He was the best for that.
Oh,
He
He's
okay.
gonna be
was
making a lot of
straight
videos
up.
with that.
Ooh,
Yeah, I got to benefit from that a little bit too. So I was very, very super grateful.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got my, well, Jace, I did spell mad wrong. Cause I've been spelling it wrong for weeks now. Like, I've been spelling, I spelled it,
It's still MAD, right?
I spelled it MJAD instead of MAJD or M apostrophe AJD. I've been spelling it wrong for weeks, but I still got some tweaking to do because I saw some YouTube videos online saying like, hey, you don't have to make it 20 pages long because this is your first time doing this, so you can probably make it 5 pages long for each issue, and it's your story. You can pretty much do whatever you want with it. And then once I find like a good artist to write it out and produce it or whatever, I'll be able to take it to cons and like conventions and plug it in there, and I ain't gonna ask somebody to pay for it. I'm just gonna set it down there, for free, set it on somebody's table for free, and say, hey, if you want to read it, go ahead and email me or whatever, tell me what you think, or if you want to see more or whatever. I'm working on the first 5 issues right now, and then I got my Smallville retro that's going to be
Yep.
my Smallville retro that should be uploaded by either no later than Tuesday. But then there's my wife going into labor, so it may be later than that. So I'll put the
Do
link
I
in
have any
our.
names?
Say what?
I said, do I have any names?
Good
As
question.
far as my daughter's name,
Yeah.
For the
Kira.
baby, yeah.
Kira.
Kira.
Yeah, KRA.
That's right. Dino Charge. I mean, not Dino Charge. Son Thunder. Dino Thunder.
Yeah, I was watching Dino Thunder one day, and then that's when my wife said it was like we should be talking about names. I was like Kira. It was like you sure you know I like Kira?
It's like I feel
But
pretty settled.
yeah, we're settled on it. Yeah, because she picked my son's name. So, but he doesn't have my first name, but he has my middle name. And then my daughter's name, her middle name is going to be kind of like my middle name, but my middle name is Dale, so I'm going to name her Kira Danielle Jones. So
Oh, that's nice. That's fire.
both my children will have both of their names start with a K. So
Well, I think that's super epic,
like
and definitely, I'm gonna. I have some. I'm not gonna do it on the live or the podcast with you, but I have some notes for you. They're very positive, and I appreciate where the story. I appreciate the story, and so definitely let me know because I'm gonna be going to. So my lines that I've got going is I'm revealing a new cosplay for TikTok. It's gonna end. It's gonna pop at the end of or May, and then I've got I'm doing a guest appearance on Zero to Hero. So shout out to them. Because this is kind of like my home base, but I come and make some stops at other places. And the last big thing that I have is I'm gonna start doing a role playing game that is going to go directly to the YouTube.
Right.
Tonight's the first night for it. I'm really excited.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it going to be
I'm still
live
showing up for that,
or is
right?
it
But not for that.
Well, I missed it. I'm sorry.
is it going to be
You said it's
live?
gonna be live tonight.
Yeah. Well, no. So Because today's the test run, we're using an alternate app to run it, and if we can, and then I have the ability to tie it into YouTube to do the live streaming. So that is eventually the goal, but the first couple of episodes are going to be just kind of like how they have for the tabletop for Hyperforce.
Okay. Yeah, I seen those episodes. Like they expand. Yeah, they go over like 2 hours. I seen like pieces of the story of Hyperforce.
It's good.
Where Vesper, the Black Ranger, I liked her story. Yes. She was an android, and then when they went to the RPM world, she was infected by the Vengeance virus. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And see, that's so like Spartan's gonna be DMing or doing, and this is based off the game, so it's like something we're gonna kind of hype up the game a little bit. We're gonna kind of put these players into circulation. Tonight we're just kind of building character sheets. We're gonna work out, how the platform handles with YouTube. We're gonna get our sheets ready, so that way the next session we have, which will be at the end of May. So the end of May is gonna be super packed for me. So that's I'm super excited about it because it's a lot, right? But it's there's small things we've been working on over time, and I'm super excited about it. So those are the three big things I got going on right now.
Yeah, that sounds like more than what I'm doing. The most thing I'm doing is bringing up college and doing and putting out my regular videos because I was supposed to put out my what if video, my Peacemaker video, and what was the other games? The Guardians of the Galaxy game and Devil May Cry reboot game. I was supposed to put those videos out a long time ago, but I let procrastination be my ultimate enemy and adulthood. So
it gets in front of you, man.
Yeah, it does. Like I was like, wait a minute. I was supposed to be.
Hey, Cam.
But time passes you by, and then I try to just sit up and edit, and like I said, I was watching Attack on Titan the other day, and I thought it was depressing before, looking folks getting eating and folks losing all hope in humanity and whatnot, but it gets even more depressing once they find out who the real enemy was. I don't know if you've seen it yet, Jason. Like season 4 of Attack on Titan. Omega.
No, I'm caught up to. I'm caught up to season. I'm just finishing up season 3 because it's in my rotation. But that kind of stuff I try to watch when the kids are asleep, so I only get like 1 to 2 days a month to do that.
Oh, because it's a good thing the kids are asleep.
It's a lot.
Normally, there's not really a lot of shows like that.
And I try to get into Black Clover too, but I don't know. It's not sitting well with me. I don't know. Maybe I need to give it.
My big thing is I'm not a shonen guy really. I kind of grew out of it because I read so much of it. The only shonens I really read nowadays, like One Piece. I think that's like the last shonen I read. Like a lot of mangas I usually read nowadays is like comedies and things with like really long stories. Because I read manga. That's my thing. If I like a manga enough, I'll watch the anime. Like Shield Hero, that's an isekai. I usually don't watch isekais, but that one had a pretty good story for me.
And I've seen a lot. I've seen that end scene of the latest One Piece episode. Like I was like, who are these folks are coming out of they fresh out of animation school or something? Because that shot was looking beautiful. How he punched the living shit out of Kaido and walking past. I thought it was a movie I was watching. I was like, let
me tell you something. As a One Piece fan, One Piece is so rewarding. It rewards you for staying around being a fan.
Yeah.
Because that's what's really happening in Wanda right now. It's a big celebration for everyone to stay around so far.
Yeah,
so, hey,
I stayed
for you guys.
I pop in. I may take breaks in between arcs, but I still go and watch it. I was like, let me pay $5.99 for Funimation, and I can watch some couple of episodes of One Piece. I'm on the Dressrosa arc right now. Yeah, Dressrosa.
Okay, what part are you on?
I
You got
think
the Coliseum
I'm
part?
on the final round of that tournament. I think the final round of that tournament for the flame fruit.
So Luffy just left. I'm sorry, Lucy just left and got replaced by his brother,
No, not that part yet.
Sabo. Okay,
Not that
okay.
part yet. Nah.
Wait, did you
Yeah.
see Sabo?
No, I didn't see Sabo yet. I don't think so.
Oh,
Because
my bad.
it took me. It
You
took.
said the final round, man.
Yeah.
You said the final round.
It's like the final round expands like a couple of episodes. I was
No,
like, I
no,
thought
the
it'd be
final
like.
round is just the four of them. It's four fighters.
Oh,
That's the final round.
Oh.
so to circle back, do you think we're gonna do? No, it's okay. It's just I do have the other engagement, so I don't mean to be a jerk.
Okay. No.
And
We got on tangents, sorry.
No, and so like I don't think with you, Burst, because this is kind of your podcast. So are we gonna hold off next month because everyone seems to have a little bit of a full agenda? Are we going to? What's the thought process so we can tell our viewers for if there's going to be a May episode or not?
Let's shoot for June. Let's shoot for like early June.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. I support that.
Yeah, let's shoot for early June because there's gonna be a lot going on in the in the next couple of weeks. Wife could be giving birth between now and going into May, and I need to like commit my time to being in the house. I can't be doing
I respect
podcast
it.
episode, and my wife can't get out of bed, and I have to be the one to take care of the new little one. So
yeah.
So let's shoot for June. Let's shoot for the second weekend in June. Like date.
Yeah. I was gonna say let's leave that at TBA, but because I'm going the second, like in the June 13th, I'm going to Tennessee with the family, so that means I'm pulling up my calendar now. Yeah, so that'd be fine. Like the 18th or the 25th, we'll figure it out. But that sounds good because that way I don't wanna like overwhelm you. And I mean, obviously, Omega, we're gonna be doing a bunch of stuff in between that too, buddy. So this is just something that we kind of started. We're doing it like once a month, just talking about all the fandoms. We appreciate it, and then it kind of gives you some stuff to add to your YouTube channel or snippets that you want to use in TikToks or whatever. Burst has been. Absolutely, man. We love having people on. Absolutely. So that is super cool. Well, all right, guys. I appreciate it. I thank you again. I don't mean to be pushy. You can ask Burst. Normally, I'm not at all. I'm like, hey, let's keep talking. But I don't want to be late to this because I've got like 6 other things that I got to make sure. I don't want to be late to this because I've got like 6 other things that I got to make sure.
Okay. All right. Like I said, let me know the date. Pop in the chat every now and then, and like if you want to have some more co-hosts and whatnot, that's fine with me. If I can let like more people on, and if not, we probably have to find an alternative platform.
Well, depending on how. And like my last piece on that, depending on how it works out with the airtime, that might be a something we can do.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine by me. Just let me know. Get at me. It was good. It was good that I was able to get on because
yes,
I could have been in the hospital. I was like, you know what? Yes. Like since like nothing's happening, I could just pop on. But thank you for like reaching out and thank y'all for y'all support.
Heck yeah.
Because I'm kind of on edge here because I'm up all night because my wife can wake me up and be like, hey, we gotta go. I was like, okay.
It's a blessing, brother.
But y'all take care, and I'll see y'all next time.
Next time, guys.
Man.
Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.
Share, like, and subscribe. Absolutely. May the power protect you all.
All right. Y'all take care.
Bye.